Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to yet another beautiful session on Srila Prabhupada. We have covered almost 80% of the book, and maybe another two classes, and we'll be able to wind up the entire thing. Okay, so let's start with prayers to Srila Prabhupada. I offer my respects to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who's very dear to Lord Krishna. O spiritual master, I offer my respects to you, your servant of your Guru, Saraswati Goswami. You're kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering the Western countries. Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauri Bhakta Vrindavan. Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, in the last class, we had left at the place where we understood that Srila Prabhupada had fallen extremely sick and there was some issues with his heart. And as you all remember, when he had first come to America, in the ship, he had two heart attacks also. So now he has been continuously, without any breaks, he has been traveling, helping in devotees become, Krishna conscious, opening new temples, translating books. So non-stop he's working without any breaks. So definitely at that age where he is, above 70, something will happen definitely, right? So anyways, he recovered and by Krishna's mercy and, he came back to his residence here in America. So, but after that, he expressed his desire that he wanted to go back to India for some time because weather in America, as you all know, it's many times it is extremely cold. There is a lot of snowfall. So Prabhupada wanted to express that, he desired that he wanted to go to India. So in 1967, almost around 2 years back, he, along with his disciple, Kirtananda, he goes back to India. Let me start typing the names. So this is one of his first disciples, and now at this time, many disciples he'd already had. So he went to, India, and especially he went back to Delhi. So Srila Prabhupada arrived at Delhi airport at 2 a.m. in the morning and asked his taxi driver to take them to, uh, there's a place called Chipiwada in Old Delhi. And so there was a Radhakrishna temple where Prabhupada used to stay. So just after, a few years before, Prabhupada was at the same place where, he would be collecting donations, he would be printing his Srimad Bhagavatam. And in those days, he had been alone. He had no money, no place to live. Yet he was very happy because he was completely, or as always, he has always been completely dependent on Krishna for everything. So whatever the circumstances, Prabhupada used to always remain happy. Indian leaders, yes, understood they were rejecting culture, they were not accepting our own culture. And there was a time they had started imitating West. Even today, we see that so many youngsters are imitating what people in the Western countries are doing. So some people were religious, yes, but they did not accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada felt that it was his duty to go and transplant this Vedic culture in the West. So we have already understood all those things. So on reaching this Radhakrishna temple where Prabhupada was staying, uh, the taxi stopped, and it is very interesting that to the taxi driver he gave the same 40 rupees which he has been having ever since he started from India. Because in America he would be using dollars, and anyways he never used to keep any money with him. Everything used to be was getting used in Krishna's service. So he was having those 40 rupees and he gave that to taxi driver. But taxi driver was such a cheat that he did not return the change, and both of them were fighting. And anyways, Prabhupada felt that now it is 2, 3 o'clock. Where shall I get the police and complaint against him? So he completely gave away his 40 rupees. So let me share this place where Prabhupada used to stay. And so
Sorry,
it's a
sorry.
very
Mataji, you said some complaint to police. I missed that. Could you
yeah
go
yeah
back?
because the journey was short, and it didn't it wasn't costing 40 rupees, but this taxi driver didn't used to return the change. So Prabhupada said, I'll complain against you. But at that time, where is the police? So Prabhupada just left it that, he's cheating me. So I just wanted to bring the point that Prabhupada was holding, that still that old 40 rupees with which 2 years back he had traveled to America. So that was very interesting. I thought I'll uh, mention it here. So this is the room where Prabhupada used to stay. I'll share this picture. Interestingly, you can see the temple dome in the room. So have a look at this picture so that person who's staying in the room will know that below this dome the temple is there and Lord's room is there. So it's a very interesting and an old room, and this is the exact place where Prabhupada used to stay. So interestingly, the dome is in the center of the room. The temple is downstairs, so that nobody puts his feet in the on that area. So the dome was in this inside the room. Generally, I've never seen something like that. So it was very strange.
I'm sorry, Mataji, I didn't understand.
See, this dome usually will never be in the center of the room. No, these domes of the temple will always be outside on the terrace.
Oh,
Any
it's on the top. Like,
It's on the top, but it is in the room so that nobody puts his feet on that place of the room. So this dome was inside, so that everybody gets to know that yes, there is a temple below.
sorry, last bit I didn't understand, Mataji. Temple
Yeah. So
below, nobody puts the leg. How?
see, suppose there are two floors. Okay, on the ground, on the below floor is the room of where the Lord idol is there, right? And above that, Prabhupada room was there. No, you're not understanding.
No, there is a
Below is
room, this red room which we saw, and there
yeah,
inside there's a structure which is like the top, right? Which is not
top, yeah.
supposed to be there
So
inside.
below that, so means on the first ground floor, the temple is there. First
Hmm.
floor, Prabhupada would be living.
So
So
this
exactly,
room, which was the ground floor, right?
this room was on the first floor.
Okay, this is the first floor, okay.
Yeah, this is the
Uh,
first floor.
and
And
beneath that, Prabhupada used to stay beneath that.
no, Prabhupada would be staying in this room. So
Okay.
nobody steps on that, on the top of how should I explain it? जैसे कि नीचे मंदिर है और
Hmm.
भगवान के राधा कृष्ण की मूर्ति है,
Hmm.
ठीक है? तो अभी हम लोग अगर मूर्ति के ऊपर पाँव ना रखें,
Hmm.
इसलिए वो डोम रूम में बना दिया गया, ताकि उसके ऊपर पाँव ना आए किसी का। मतलब ऐसा
So that
लगेगा कि
is
जैसे हम
not inside, नीचे वाले रूम में मंदिर है लेकिन वो डोम ऊपर
हाँ,
है.
हाँ, हाँ, डोम ऊपर है।
Okay.
नहीं आ रहा समझ। So that nobody steps on that place. उमा कुछ समझाना चाह रही है शायद।
I
Hmm.
think you made
Ah,
sense, Mataji.
makes sense. Okay. We'll proceed. Okay. So Prabhupada then told his disciple who was with him, and he said, "So this is the room where I used to, to compile my Bhagavatam, and I used to sleep here. I had my cooker, I had my typewriter. So I would sleep and type and cook, type again. I was continuously just doing these things. I sleep, I will type, and then cook. That's all my activity was in this room." So his disciple was so shocked to see that how, Swamiji lived here in such a poor, humble place. That room was not even clean. So imagine the kind of richness and wealth that was there in America. And compared to that, what kind of condition Prabhupada was living here in India. So, anyways, so let's move on. And Prabhupada, the intention was to come to India, was to regain his health, and he got a checkup done by two Ayurvedic doctors, and they told him, yes, there is a problem in his heart, but he should take a lot of rest, good sunshine, because in America, many months, even the sun will also not come out. So he said, expose yourself to good sunlight and take good rest, and of course, give rest to your heart also. So after 6 days, Prabhupada goes to Vrindavan, and again he goes to the same Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. You remember, sometime back we were discussing that how when Prabhupada was in India, he used to stay in one Radha Damodar temple, and so they go there. And although it was very hot over there, that was the summer time, but we see that how with even in heat, Prabhupada's health started improving. And then soon he gave sannyas to Kirtanananda. So, like he would, sannyas means even his disciple would now become a sannyasi. He would also wear those orange clothes, and he will not get married and all those things which are there with sannyasis.
Who Mataji gave sannyasi to?
His
Kirtan.
disciple was there, na Kirtanananda.
Ah,
So he gave sannyas to him in Vrindavan. So these are the few of the pictures of the place where Prabhupada was staying in Radha Damodar temple. And the last picture is, it is now, the room is like a museum, and an idol, a deity of like a statue of Prabhupada is installed there. So if any of you go to Vrindavan, you can visit this temple, and you can see this room yourself next time, and see how Prabhupada used to live in that room. So I'll just share a few pictures. The last picture that I'll share is now made is as a small museum. So whoever goes to Vrindavan, you must visit this temple. It's Radha Damodar temple, and you can see Prabhupada's room. So when his disciple Kirtanananda, he saw Prabhupada's condition in Delhi, then in Vrindavan, he would think that there are so many sadhus in Vrindavan, but still Prabhupada was very unique. No one else was so simple, so serious, and Prabhupada could very quickly find out if when somebody was cheating or somebody was spreading false philosophy, false knowledge. He was very attractive to the heart. and he was very pure and always smiling, and he was so attached to Krishna. So he was thinking within himself that there was nobody who could be the leader like Prabhupada. Prabhupada was the top leader when it comes to spreading Krishna consciousness. So many sadhus he saw, but he felt there was nobody like Prabhupada. So when Prabhupada completely recovered, he started planning to go back to America. But first he thought he wanted to go to Calcutta. As you all know, Calcutta was his home. It was the place he was born and brought up and got married and everything. So Prabhupada, when he reached this Howrah station. We all know this. The Calcutta station name is Howrah station, and so almost 40, 50 people, mostly belonging to Prabhupada's sister's family, and some devotees were there who came to welcome at the station. They offered Prabhupada flower garlands and sandalwood paste, and then they took him in a car. And in fact, his disciple, there were more disciples by that time, apart from Kirtanananda. So they all were seeing that how uh, Prabhupada's sister, although she was very small in height, she had so much of her face was so similar to uh, Prabhupada. Yeah. So Prabhupada's sister's name was Bhavatarini, but Prabhupada would call her something else. I just write down. But Prabhupada would call her Pishima. That was the love name. And this is her photograph. I'll just share. So when Prabhupada arrived at Pishima's house in Calcutta, everybody was there. They were doing aarti of Prabhupada, and they were bathing his feet because they were so proud of Prabhupada that he went from India all the way to America on behalf of Lord Krishna, and he's preaching so nicely. And Prabhupada was sitting there and smiling, and he was very happy that people were accepting at least his family was accepting about his preaching in America. So after that, so let me share Prabhupada's sister's photograph. Doesn't she look so much same like Prabhupada? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
they're
after,
all saying yes, Mataji. Very, very similar.
okay, so Calcutta trip was over. So there were a lot of places Prabhupada visited, but these were the main things I wanted to highlight. So here afterwards, Prabhupada goes to San Francisco and then he goes to Los Angeles. This has been his itinerary. And till now, everybody used to call Prabhupada as Swamiji. But from now onwards, only Prabhupada was addressed as Prabhupada. Okay. So, because Swamiji only now Prabhupada. So Prabhupada word also has a meaning. Maybe in some other class, I'll explain in detail what is the meaning of this word. So meanwhile, Prabhupada had, you know, conducted marriages of three couples. So here are the names. So these are the three very important disciples, six disciples, and Prabhupada conducted their marriage in Indian style, that not like in church, but like how we Indian get married around fire. So proper according to the Vedic rules and regulation, Prabhupada performed their marriages. And these three couples actually had very close association with Prabhupada. and they helped Prabhupada introducing Kirtan, Prasad, Rath Yatra, and now they were ready to help him introduce Krishna conscious in London. So by now, London had no center, UK had no center. So Prabhupada desired that now we should have a center in America also, sorry, in London also. So these six people were supposed to go, and Prabhupada asked them that, you stay with me for some time, and I will train you how to open the center, how to do kirtan, and how to make prasad, everything, so that without me, you can start a center. So, in a more serious note, Prabhupada was noticing that how American young people were disappointed with even they had a lot of money. Their fathers were very rich, and but they had no intention of joining their father's business because they were so frustrated with material life. They wanted some alternative. So such people, such youth, they were ready for spiritual knowledge, is how Prabhupada tells. They were living like how we saw those hippies, right? They were living in a very dirty conditions. They were sad, but they had started chanting Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada would say that, how uh, in Vrindavan, when rain falls, Vrindavan becomes beautiful. Anyways, it is beautiful, but with rains, it becomes fresh. And peacock starts dancing happily. So similarly, these devotees who are very sad and who are living in dirty conditions, although they are very rich, but when they take Krishna consciousness, they become happy. They start dancing and chanting the holy names, like how we see these peacocks in Vrindavan. So when once one reporter asked Prabhupada that, your disciples are all hippies, so Prabhupada would say, no, we are not hippies, we are happies. Means, so the words are quite same. Uh, I don't know if you can pronounce. So we are not hippies, but we are always very happy people. So that is the comparative which Prabhupada gave, and it's a very famous line which we understand in ISKCON. So
Sorry,
Prabhupada
Mataji,
loved.
I think we need to get back a little bit because I'm trailing a little bit. So can
Okay,
we
where
go
are
back?
we?
Yeah, you had said that, the hippie people were the ones who were spiritually ready because they were, detachment from materialistic and all of those.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
value
correct,
system was different, and Prabhupada realized that these were the people who were ready for spiritual journey. And then
correct, correct.
you mentioned that there was some kind of, the dryness, some metaphor you said that it's dry, and then
Yes,
you
so
said,
like peacocks,
yeah,
like
that's
when
earlier.
rain falls in Vrindavan,
Hmm.
all the dust gets settled, and the
Okay.
peacock starts dancing.
Okay. And what is the relation to that?
Similarly, these boys and girls, their life has also become very dry because of
Ah,
material things. So
ah,
when Krishna consciousness comes, it's
hmm.
like rain to them. They
Okay,
become
just a second.
fresh.
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
second.
sure.
So sometimes, Mataji, if it helps, if you are also understanding, if I'm explaining a concept, I'm trailing a little bit, you could also hold a little bit so that I can
Okay.
finish. Because I'm signing, sometimes I forget to tell you, Mataji, hold a little.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
one
I'll
second.
take care of that.
No, no, it's just something. After you understand the signing, also, it actually, yeah, it
Ah.
matter. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just
Because
say.
I'm not aware of that signs, no. So
Yeah,
I
I
go
don't know
with
if
my
you look
flow.
at the interpreter. Do you look at me when I'm signing and the
Sometimes I
people?
do, sometimes I'm looking at the audience and seeing their
Acha, okay, okay.
reactions.
Okay, okay, got it.
And
Just
sometimes
two
I have
minutes.
to get back to my notes also
Hmm.
so that I don't miss anything.
So now the rain metaphor, right, Mataji? Just 1 second,
Yeah.
I'm almost there. I told them what was happening between us because they was waiting.
Okay.
I told. Thank you, Mataji. We can continue. Mataji, we can continue.
Okay. Yes, we can continue. So Prabhupada loved his disciples, and in turn, even the disciples, without any conditions, they loved him. And out of this love, Prabhupada was giving them the greatest treasure of Krishna consciousness. So he would always say that if you are sincere, then we can accomplish wonderful things. And then Mahaprabhu will empower them, and you know, they will advance in Krishna consciousness. And then at the same time, they will start distributing this Krishna consciousness. So sincerity in anything is very important. We all need to be very, very sincere. So when we are chanting, even to everybody, I'm saying that we need to be very sincere in whatever we are doing for Krishna, whether we are cooking, stitching, making flower garlands, or whatever we are doing. Krishna doesn't see anything else except our sincerity. Okay. So many disciples of Prabhupada already had started feeling that their lives were changing and they were becoming from hippies. So from that bad life, they were already becoming wonderful people. So by now, almost 15 temples had already been opened around the world. And that time Prabhupada said that I want each one of you to go and start a center somewhere in the world. So one of the disciples, her name was Rukmini, and she asked, can women also go and open a center? So Prabhupada said that Krishna does not make any difference between male or female. So then he gave example of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda, we all know, right? So Lord Nityananda, his wife name was Janva. I just typed. So when Nityananda Prabhu left this material world, when Mahaprabhu also went by, so his wife actually became a spiritual master. She became a guru and she started giving diksha to people. Generally, we don't see women becoming gurus, right? Mostly men we see as becoming gurus. But here, Janva Mata was a very great spiritual master. So therefore, Prabhupada was saying that Krishna does not make any difference between male or female. So first you need to do is understand philosophy, and then Krishna will give you all the intelligence. So basically all of you can go and you know open centers, open ISKCON temples. So here is a temple picture of Nityanand with his wife Janva, and he had two wives basically. So this is the picture. I'll find out which temple this is. Maybe I can tell you later. Okay, so let's move on. After that, Prabhupada travels
Mataji,
to
so Balram, right? Nityananda is Balaram?
Nityananda. Yes, Nityananda is otherwise Balaram, Jagannath. Jagannath and Balaram are together. Similarly, this is God Nitai. They're two deities with raised hands in ISKCON. So this is the same Nityananda. He came with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Balram came with Jagannath and Nityanand came with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like Lakshman was with Ram. After this, Prabhupada goes to the another two destinations. I've typed the names, Buffalo and Boston. And he gives Diksha to more people and also conduct more marriages.
Sorry, Mataji, the names are not here.
It's not there? Oh, I typed and I didn't say.
Ah,
So after this, Prabhupada goes to these two places. He these centers are opened and then he conducts more, gives more people, Diksha to more people, conducts marriages. So in other temple, Prabhupada always used to talk about living, how we live in village. We have a simple house and cows and we do farming. So Prabhupada wanted some like that kind of a temple. So such a temple was created in West Virginia. So I will just share a video on that. And the name of the temple is uh, New Vrindavan. Name of the temple in America is New Vrindavan. Okay. So we'll have a look at this video. Just a quick tour kind of a thing. 1 second. Is it visible?
yes, Mataji, but yeah, we can just, yes, perfect.
1 second. Sorry for the ad. When will it go? 1 second.
There's a skip button, Mataji. Just
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I didn't take you around the temple because the main concept I wanted to discuss that how this temple was based on like a farm living and not a city kind of a temple. And Prabhupada was very happy when he visited, the kitchen of this temple. It was like how it is done in the village with the cow dung, uh, you know. And so Prabhupada would say that when we are cooking, the first preference should be given to cow dung, like for cooking, not gas. And first was cow dung, second was gas, second was wood, like cooking food on wood, and third would be gas, and then electricity. So, like we have induction and everything. So, Prabhupada would say that if you want to cook, then the best medium is cow dung. Yeah, so after that, we understood initially that how the three couples who went to London and they wanted to put a temple, have a temple there, and they were struggling very hard. So they met somebody called George Harrison. So this again, he's a pop singer, and he was a great follower of Prabhupada and Krishna conscious movement. So I'll share his picture, and he helped a lot. Although he didn't become a full-time devotee, but whenever possible, he would sing songs on Krishna and he would donate and um, he would help amazingly. He was an amazing person. So Prabhupada used to love him a lot, and even he used to love Prabhupada a lot. So he would once, say that I always serve through my songs. And he would tell that how Prabhupada was very friendly to him. And he would say that he had been to India actually before meeting Prabhupada, he had come to India. So he would say that I've seen many gurus and they will just be showing off themselves. But Prabhupada would always say, I'm the servant of the servant of Krishna. He would never say, I'm the greatest, I'm God. He would never say some things like this. He was so humble. He says, I'm your servant. But at the same time, Prabhupada would say that Guru should be worshipped as God. That's fine. But he should not think that he is God. So that something is very important knowledge which Prabhupada gives that if all of you meet somebody who's a guru and who poses himself that he's very great, he's like God, then he is not a genuine guru. So a genuine guru will always say, I'm your servant. How can I serve you? So that is the kind of entire life we see how Prabhupada would always say that I'm your servant. I'm Krishna's servant. How can I serve you? So finally, devotees in London were able to have a temple, and when Prabhupada visited them, he got the news that there was a person who was donating the deities of Radha Krishna. So Prabhupada felt very happy, and he sent his disciples to check. And when they came, they said, "Prabhupada, the deities are very beautiful." And immediately Prabhupada rushed there. And so when he spoke to this person said, actually, when the deities were getting transported from India, one finger of Radharani got chipped.
Sorry, Mataji, just to clarify, Prabhupada now is in UK, right?
Yeah, he's in UK, and a place has been settled, and it's growing. The center is growing, and they're looking for a deity now for the temple. And Prabhupada gets the news that somebody is ready to donate Radhakrishna deities. So he sends his disciples and they come back excitedly with the news that the deity is very beautiful and Prabhupada, you should come and look. And when Prabhupada go there, the person who is donating, he tells that a small chip has happened in the finger of Radharani's, idol. So as you all know, if the deity is little broken, people don't then install. But Prabhupada was like a great devotee of the Lord. He said, no, no, we will fix it. So Prabhupada picked up those deities and
Whose
he,
hand was chipped, Mataji?
Radharani's. Radharani's little one finger was little chipped. So Prabhupada, when they put the deities in the van and Prabhupada was admiring and he says how bluish Krishna is and how white Radharani is. They're so, so gorgeous. And then Prabhupada said, Krishna is so kind. He has come to us like this. I mean, imagine in London, where you have no information how to get, how to get those idols of Radha and Krishna. Suddenly, if somebody calls and he donates his deity. So all these things happen actually with the will of the Lord. If Krishna wants to come, he will come anywhere. Only thing is, we should be ready to call him. So then deities were installed by Prabhupada and then he returned to US. I've not downloaded the picture of London deities, but I'll show you. Okay. And so by now, 34 branches were already there of ISKCON. And
Uh,
Prabhupada
where, Mataji? In UK?
all over the world.
And he's left UK now, he's back?
Yeah, I'll tell. After this, he'll be moving to Calcutta,
He's
but
still in UK, right?
he's still in UK and he installed the deities. So while being in London,
There in London also, there where the deities, this particular chipped deity is installed in London.
is in ISKCON London. Yes, he's in
We're
ISKCON
talking.
London.
Mataji, just because we are moving places and I'm
Uh,
placing these things, it helps if you, whenever we are a little bit of emphasis that he's here, now
okay,
he's moving.
okay,
Because
okay,
I had
fine.
just moved Prabhupada to America now. Just wanted to clarify. No,
Oh,
he's going to
okay.
be back.
We are
He's
moving
in still
fast.
London.
Yeah, so Prabhupada has installed these deities and in London, ISKCON. And sometime I will share, maybe after the class, probably I'll just quickly Google and find out this picture. So at this point of time, Prabhupada actually announced that he's already 75 years old and he felt that any time I can die. So the activities ISKCON is expanding, the activities are expanding. So he wanted to give specific instructions now how to manage the temple.
Where
Uh,
is he now? Right now, Mataji?
he's still in UK. He's still in UK, and he's saying all these things that he wanted to standardize temple management and how to distribute books, how to open new centers, educate new devotees. So basically, he wanted to put everything how a proper organization should run. So as a result, Prabhupada created this governing body commission. I'll just type. So he created this governing body commission, which is also called as GBC. So it is like they are comprised of Prabhupada's disciples only. But Prabhupada would say that I don't want to remain in administrative work. Please make me free from admin work. I want to work on translation of books. Money matters and temple opening and training new people. So much, imagine, so much is happening around the world. So many temples are opening, so many people are joining. How can one single person, Prabhupada, take care of so many things? So he made governing body commission that everything will be taken care, all decisions mainly will be taken care by these people, right? And one thing very important at that time, Prabhupada announced that each temple is independent when we are talking about money. Because today, a lot of people, have this against ISKCON that they are so rich because money comes from out of India. But that is not correct. But from very beginning, Prabhupada mentioned that each temple is independent. They have to manage their finances themselves by selling books, by creating more uh, devotees and taking donations. So nobody is supposed to take money from other temple. So if anybody tells you also that, oh, ISKCON is rich because you get money from abroad, but that is not true, because each temple is a separate unit and they have to manage their funds themselves. So that is what Prabhupada had established many years back, right? They're all ISKCON, but they are individual entities. So, and all will work under GBC, right? So now Prabhupada is moving to Calcutta, and at that time, Calcutta was in a political chaos, and a group of terrorists they were doing rioting, murdering prominent businessmen.
Sorry, Mataji, what is this year right now we're talking?
So that time, Calcutta, when Prabhupada came to Calcutta, there was a lot of political chaos was happening. A lot of tension was there in Calcutta.
Sorry, Mataji, the question is which year is this? Just for context.
This is one second, 1970. So many industrialists they were leaving the city. They were leaving Calcutta and they were going to Delhi or Bombay because they were getting murdered by these, uh, you know, terrorist kind of people in those days. So at that time, when Prabhupada reaches there and sees the situation, he says, the only shelter is Krishna. And then he explains very beautifully that why such things is happening. He's saying that first India was under the rule of Mughals, the Muslim rulers. And then the Britishers came. So as a result, general people in India, they lost respect for their own culture. And that is why now we are copying the Western world.
Sorry, Mataji, can you go back? What? Who's lost trust in?
Yeah, so people actually, because of so many change of rulers, Muslim, then Britishers, people lost respect for their own culture. And now they are copying the Western world. As I said in the beginning, that how even today youngsters are uh, they are copying whatever Western people are doing. We are forgetting our own culture. So Prabhupada wanted to organize big programs to preach people in general. So specifically in three states, Calcutta, Bombay, and Surat, Prabhupada wanted to organize big Pandal programs. Pandal means a huge tent, big tent, where,
Sorry, Mataji, Nilachal Prabhu just gave me the sign for Surat. I had forgotten.
Surat. How, what is
Yeah.
it? Okay. So Prabhupada wanted to target because they were big business centers and lot of influential people were there. And so he wanted to preach to people, but in Pandal program means you have a big shamiana, like open program, open air program. You will have a tent and 10,000, 20,000 people can come and Prabhupada will conduct programs there. So in such programs, other sadhus from other religious group would also come. But when the audience saw, the kirtan and dance of Prabhupada's English disciples, Western disciples, they were so happy because they saw they are,
Ma'am,
sorry,
Mataji, sorry, this is in Surat. There are Western disciples here in Surat.
yeah, so many, no, with Prabhupada, then a lot of Western disciples also came because Prabhupada wanted them to see India
From
and to
UK, you're
start
saying?
from UK. Yes, yes. So and then
Ah,
he
so
called from,
one sec, Mataji. So, one sec. Yes, Mataji, you can go.
so many disciples were there in India with Prabhupada. And when general masses of people would see them singing and dancing and chanting, they started crying in happiness because for them it was first time seeing Krishna Bhakti in foreigners.
Who's crying, Mataji? General, the Indian
The
people.
general people, the people, 10,000, 20,000 people were sitting there and hearing Prabhupada, and they were seeing that how these Western people were um, doing bhakti, chanting, and singing about Krishna. And then Prabhupada would say that, these boys and girls, they would be eating non-veg, they would be drinking alcohol, they would be into illicit sex, they were gambling. Now they don't even do anything. They don't even smoke, take tea or coffee. And now they have given up everything. And then Prabhupada said, you know why? Because they have taken to Krishna consciousness. So the audience, they were amazed, they were shocked to see these devotees from foreign countries doing everything like Indians would do. And once Prabhupada even performed on the stage, he performed a marriage ceremony also. So that further shocked people. You know,
What, Mataji, again? Marriage?
he performed of his two disciples. He did a marriage ceremony on the stage.
Indian disciples, Mataji, or
No,
foreign
no,
disciples?
foreign disciples. So the basic purpose of Prabhupada's doing all these things was to stress the importance of our culture. We are doing so many things like foreigners, like Western people, but Prabhupada wanted to stress the importance of Indian culture. So he will say, so you can see what is the result of Krishna consciousness. It is not anything artificial. It is in everyone. It is in everyone's heart. And he says, I have not done anything magical. It is Krishna is there within each one of us. We simply have to revive that Krishna consciousness. So these Pandal programs were big success, and slowly Pro- Prabhupada established that how in India, when he was in India, he could not convince people about Krishna consciousness. But when he went to outside India, and when his disciples came with him, then people believed in Krishna consciousness. So much struggle he faced. He wanted to start it here in India, but he could not do it. And by now, following his guru's orders, when he goes out of India, he became so successful. So then more temples were opened. So these three programs actually were big success in these three cities. And I will share a video of also of one, foreign devotees dancing in streets. And later on, more temples were opened. Moscow, Sydney, and in Africa, especially in Moscow, because the government was not supported, it was very difficult to spread Krishna consciousness in Russia. And even Africa also, language was not, nobody understood English language. So that again was very challenging to do, spread Krishna consciousness. In between, Prabhupada again traveled to other countries, and finishing these three cities, he again traveled. And actually, many times devotees compare him to Narad Muni, that how Narad Muni would travel anywhere in the universe, no, for but the benefit of people. Similarly, Prabhupada used to travel so much in that age where he could have nicely, happily lived in Vrindavan and retired. But in that age, he was traveling so much, opening temples and spreading Krishna consciousness. Not that he wanted money for himself, but he just wanted people to become Krishna conscious. Right? So we are almost at the end. So in the next class, I wanted to do it today, but I think we're out of time now. Now, next class will be very important because Prabhupada wants to open three very important temples, and that is in India, Mayapur, Vrindavan, and Bombay. So we will hear the stories that how, what big struggles Prabhupada had in opening these three temples. And so this is what it is. We are done with the class. I'm still left with a lot of material, but probably next class we'll take. And once we close the class, I'll just share the video of one program, how devotees are dancing in Calcutta, the foreign devotees, and there's so much of crowd to see these people. So quickly we'll take one question of Kala, then we'll close the class. I think we can take questions later.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Namaskar. Thank you.
Krishna.
Yeah. So, Uma Mataji had raised his hand, so I couldn't see Kala Mataji. Mataji, you had said that something had broken, no, from that Radharani's deity. So is it
Yes.
still there?
Yeah, I'll show you the picture. Same deities are there. No, but it is repaired. It has been repaired by. See, we can do it, but Prabhupada is a pure devotee. There's a difference between Prabhupada and us. He can do those things, not us. We can take it next time.
She's talking about something America rain. I don't know. I don't understand. Mataji, she's actually, since she started, can we just take it? By the time he had
Okay.
said it, she had also said it.
For the fire, I think, huh? She's talking about the LA fire.
No, something is America. What?
She's talking about this fire in Los Angeles, I think.
No, Vrindavan. Hmm. Hmm. That metaphor, Mataji, you had said in Vrindavan when there is
Ah,
rain, the dust all comes out, and America, the peacock and everything. So I think that part was not clear. So you think
okay.
peacocks in
So,
America?
no, Peacock is not America. It is just like comparative, like
Hmm.
uh, how we do a comparison between two things, right?
I
So this,
understood, Mataji. It's
so okay,
Uma
the
Mataji.
comparison is that the people in America have material things accumulated. They are so uh, like they are so busy in doing material things, right? So those material things are like dust. So similarly, when in Vrindavan there is dust, and what rain comes, dust settles, and the peacock starts dancing, right? So devotee is like peacock. When the dust is washed, when his material desires are, you know, given up by chanting, then he also starts dancing like a peacock. He also becomes very happy because his material desires are all washed away by chanting. So chanting is like rain, devotee is like peacock, and dust is like our material desires. Understood?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for asking. So it's
Thank
become
you.
clear to others also.
Hmm. When Krishna died, the heart, Krishna's heart. In Puri, the heart is kept in Puri. This is a story, something like that, Mataji. After Mahabharata and everything, something happened and the leg. So Krishna got hurt on the leg and then he died. But apparently, the heart was kept in Puri. Is that right? There is some story she wants to know.
Okay, not today. So if there are questions regarding the class,
She says after Prabhupada's story, then we can.
yeah, we can take it up. So you can ask me question about the class because I'm also totally concentrating myself in the class. So any other story, I will immediately not able to, and we have no time also now.
I told her, Mataji, we
So
can do it after Prabhupada's.
thank you so much. So thank you so much. I hope all of you are enjoying these classes and developing more and more love for Prabhupada. So please, before chanting, always remember Prabhupada, always chant his pranam mantra. I always speak pranam mantra. And so chant his mantra and think of him and say a big thanks to him for giving him this spiritual knowledge because of the see how much he is struggling and how much he suffered in that age above 70. So we all should, whenever you visit ISKCON, pay your respects to Prabhupada. Now this time, know him because now you know more about Prabhupada, right? So I think we'll wind up now and we'll start again next week. I think now it is 3 classes more. I hope so. We should be able to wind up. So thank you so much. Once Saurabh stops, I'll quickly share the video or quick video of Prabhupada's disciples in Calcutta, a small snippet, then I'll close the session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Saurabh.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.